not only have we been here with you, you have been here with us. And we do appreciate you all. This is our 10th episode. Wonderful. Great 10. We have much more in store for you coming up. And we just wanted to take this time out to thank all of you for being with us up to this point. We love you, we bless you, and enjoy the video. Good afternoon, everyone. We're so grateful that you have tuned in to us. We are excited, as always, to be able to come to you wherever we're being heard. We want you to do, before we go any further, we want you to do us a great favor, and that is to subscribe, hit that button, and comment. Give us your comments, the topics that you would like to hear. Put them in the comment section, and we're not going to guarantee that we're going to talk about them, but we will look at them, and we will choose topics from there to bring to you. We are so grateful to be able to come to you in our prayers, as always, that you and yours is doing well, highly favored and blessed of the Almighty Yahweh. We pray that you're healed, amen, and that your hearts are healed. And even though you may be going through, we come to let you know that no matter what you're going through, he's going to bring us out of that. Yes. We're so grateful to have with us, as always, our co-host, Elder Leonard K. Scott.
And as always, it is a pleasure to be here with you, Dr. Davis and Elder Candace.
And we have Elder Candace Jean Merritt with us.
Good afternoon to you, Bishop Davis, the anointed man of Yahweh, and Elder Scott, anointed man of Yahweh.
Man, we're just so excited. There's so much going on, and I tell you, it is so much in the world. We're not going to talk politics today. We don't want to waste our time with a lot of stuff that's unnecessary. We want to bring you information that we think you should know, even if you know already. But we just want to open the floor, and we're just going to talk to Elder Scott and Elder Candace and see just where we're headed from there. So sit back, relax, and if you're driving, please keep your hand on the wheel and keep looking forward. To the side, make sure you don't run into anyone as we take you on a journey.
I don't want to do that.
Yes, it can wait. It can wait.
So, what are we going to talk about?
What are we talking about?
Yes, this is going to be open discussion.
Yeah, we have a lot to talk about.
Well, I just like to talk about Jesus has arrived a little earlier than we thought.
Oh, I thought I was the only one seeing that, and I know I hadn't drank the glass of wine.
That video.
So, that video.
That one.
That one was,
And Mary.
was amazing.
And Mary, that's an interesting story there. And he was white.
Yeah.
Who knew?
His girlfriend was white, too.
White, too. They're pure.
Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm. I'm wondering, did they have any connections with the Little House on the Prairie?
That's what it looked like. It do. Like
Well,
they
he favored to me,
Yeah.
what's his name that took his whole church to Africa?
Jim Jones.
He
Jim
don't look like
Jones.
Jim Jones.
Just his whole makeup to me
No.
looked like the Jim Jones.
Jim Jones looked much better than that. This one looked like
He had a mullet.
He looked like he
that
came
what-
out.
I think he had
like
a mullet,
lived in a
yes.
trailer park. I think they lived in a trailer park.
Well, she was dressed like
Rebecca
Well, yeah.
on Sunnybrook Farm.
But that was Jesus, and
It's Mary.
he truly believed that he was Jesus.
Still does.
And his woman was Mary Magdalene. Her name is Mary Magdalene.
I didn't read that part of the Bible.
Yeah.
The girlfriend.
I didn't
missed that.
know that he had a girlfriend.
I missed that.
See, but I'm not surprised with the way the whole subliminal messages are laid out now. I'm not surprised that he didn't come with a girlfriend. I'm surprised he didn't come with a wife, 2 little children, and a white picket fence and a dog called Spot.
Man.
I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised, because that's maybe who they're going to accept. But my Bible didn't tell me that he had none of that.
Not at all.
You know, he was a son, and in him being the son, he was on a mission. He wasn't coming with no girlfriend. And Mary Magdalene was never Mary Magdalene was his sister,
Exactly.
or was it his auntie?
I think that was his aunt.
His auntie.
I think it was his aunt.
Yeah, we went
Yeah.
through the lineage, but
Well,
and
that's why I
on
asked you, well, who
Calvary,
was she?
He introduced Mary not as his mother,
Mm.
you know. So therefore, she wasn't even, and it was Mary and Martha,
Martha, yeah.
that went to the sepulcher early first day morning. But I don't know. I saw
Well, was
that
he
too.
the second Jesus? Is he the second coming?
Well, they
Yeah,
say
I guess.
that's what the
I guess is what he's
interviewers-
proclaiming. Yeah, they basically. Yeah,
He walking the earth.
he's walking. He's walking. And
Now, I mean, it's a little bit over the top.
a little bit.
In this, well, the reason why I say a little bit is because he has the ability to do it. The Father does.
Of course.
But I just don't know, you know. I just can't get this in my head that he's coming. He you know.
Not to sit on the couch and be interviewed.
No,
Right.
he's
I
not.
don't think
Not with
that's
a
how it
girlfriend
would-
either,
Yeah,
so.
not with a girlfriend
He's
because
definitely not coming
Not
with
coming
no
with
with
girl.
a girlfriend,
yeah.
that'll take
He's not
attention
coming-
off of him.
He's not coming with a relationship anyway. Like period.
No.
So I don't-
Unless it's trying to have one with you.
His
Exactly.
relationship is already established with the Father. That is his relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And then coming to us as an example was to only establish our relationship with
With the
Father.
Father,
Exactly.
absolutely.
Exactly.
So having a girlfriend on a talk show being interviewed would definitely distract him because he told the men and whoever to follow him.
Mm-hmm.
So
And to leave who he was with.
Yes,
So
so
why
that
would
was
he
it.
contradict himself and have somebody if he told them to leave?
I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of.
and her dress was a little too short, probably. So
His dress.
her dress.
dress.
Oh, I didn't see her dress.
Yeah, she was dressed like ooh,
Rebecca.
Rebecca.
Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm. She did.
I thought it was funny in the interview. They was like, "Oh, can you turn this water to wine?" He was like, "Well, actually, I didn't turn water into wine."
He did say that was a
He
myth.
did say that was a myth. Oh man,
He did.
it was funny. It was quite funny. He's talking about he didn't have his powers yet.
He didn't have his powers.
Basically, yeah, he was like, I have to grow into them.
Oh
Because I need to start
wow.
performing
Right.
miracles.
But he's serious.
Yeah.
You gotta grow into
I don't
the
know if
anointing.
any
That's
of
what
you
he
out
said,
there
basically.
seen it on your Facebook, but there's an actual man that says that he is Jesus Christ. And
got to grow into
they
it.
actually, he had an interview with some reporters, and his girlfriend is Mary Magdalene, just so you know what we're talking about. I was outdone when I first saw it, but then I said, Father, your son never did tell us that he had a girlfriend.
Not once. Not once did he tell us.
No, because he's not on that, and he oh, anyway, that is a subject I don't want to touch.
It's a deep subject.
That
ain't it?
is a deep subject. That's a whale of a subject.
That's a
And
sign
then-
and a wonder.
Yeah, it is, you know. But anyway, everybody should be happy now. Jesus is walking the earth.
We walking had
you know,
interviewed.
and
He's
he
been
has-
interviewed.
and they're really happy because he has a girlfriend.
He's been interviewed, and
So all the world is gonna go towards him.
somebody's gonna follow.
Oh yeah, it's somebody follow anybody.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, somebody's definitely gonna
Yeah.
follow.
What else? You know, this morning I heard, and I don't want to talk about no news, but I did hear that
Dun, dun, dun.
one of the Republicans is getting ready to leave the Republican Party because of how they did with
Texas.
no, that and with the insurrection, the riot on the 6th of January, and I listened to him this morning briefly, and he was saying that when they joined in with preventing Trump from being indicted, he said it was just more than he could handle. So he's departed from his party, his Republican Party, and he's going to be independent. There's going to be a lot of people that's going to depart from that Republican Party because that Republican Party are demons. They're angry for no reason. They really don't want to help anybody.
Yeah.
Nobody but themselves. You know, and you did see that Ted Cruz, he got his stuff caught on camera, but he was trying to, with Texas and all that they've been going through, he was trying to go to Cancun,
Trying.
Mexico.
Now he went.
Well, yeah, you're right.
What he tried to do is make it sound like
It
his
was
heart started beating again, and he came back.
and he tried to blame it on his kids. He
And
basically was
he
like,
did.
That's what he
He
did.
said,
That's
"My
really what he
children
did.
needed out."
He used them as an excuse, like, oh, why don't we go to Cancun? The kids wanted to go to Cancun, so I couldn't say no to my kids. Nah,
That's exactly
that's
what
all
he
he's
said.
trying to do. So
Oh,
he's
no.
a cop out.
And that just takes me to, it's so many things that put us into, um, I don't know, it blows me away that we're not using our head. And when we look at even the Republican Party, when we look at them, all politics is a lie, and it has its sneakiness, whether it be Republicans or Democrats. But those Republicans now, they truly have been unable, and they're not even trying to cover up to make themselves even look like they care.
Yeah,
They really do not care. They are just hideous, and they're more concerned about their political stand
Yep.
than using their power in office to help people. So why would we vote for them? You know?
They did. That's why he's in office.
Well,
That's the reason why it.
They didn't vote Republican this time. They did vote Republicans in some states and put some of them back in office. But when you really look at these Republicans, they are beyond what you can imagine. For people that have any dignity or respect for themselves, and even though we have to have opposites, and you have to have a side to disagree with the other side, but when it comes to things to help people in crisis, both sides should come together and see the need. And when you have people that don't see the need even in the midst of crisis, those people are people you cannot trust. You can't trust none of them anyway, but there you go with that.
They just remind me of serial killers. They've gotten away with so much, and so they don't know. I believe they don't even know how to stop. They don't know what. They just so heartless, and they've been that way so long, and it's probably just their character. Period. So you don't think nothing is wrong with you when somebody else is telling you that, but the other person looking in can see like, oh, he's heartless. He don't even care. He's just worried about himself and his family. But I don't even believe people like that are worried about their family, because just think if pressure really hit them personally, they probably would take their own lives because they don't know how to deal with pressure. And the reason I truly believe that is they don't have any type of heart for the people that are dealing with pressure right now. Oh, just forget it. If I don't hear about it, I don't got to know it. Don't show me. Don't this, don't that. I'm not giving anything. They don't care. They don't care. So them type of people, and I'm speaking solely from different documentaries I watch, and people in high places that commit suicide. They don't just take their own life, but they take the life of their entire family because they believe that they are the reason that their family is striving. So they just believe that the United States is striving because of them. So now that it's Democrat, and this done really changed a lot of stuff because the House, the White House is Democrat now, so they like, oh, whatever. So they just like roaches trying to do whatever they can do, eat whatever they can eat, find whatever crumb that they can turn over.
You're talking about
The Republicans. They just whatever. So I knew it was bad when they made them promise not to put cameras inside of the impeachment trial. So we wouldn't be able to see who they really are. Because if you were really going to stand on what you're standing on, why would you care if we see you put your feet on the desk, listen to music while this is going on, read newspaper, read books? You a coward, really, in your heart. So that's Ted Cruz. He went on that trip, and if he wouldn't have saw the news broadcasting him, he would have stayed longer than 2 days.
He was going to get away from the tragedy. And that's what most of them do. That's why they was holding on to Trump, and because they felt that he was lining their pockets, and he was making them secure in their finances. And when it took a turn for the opposite, it made them all panic because they looked at their dollar signs being depleted, and you know how Trump did the taxes. The rich get richer and the poor gets poorer. It's just crazy with dealing with this. And we got this 2022 election coming up, and I think these are for like local
yeah.
offices. and
Important.
They're
stuff
already
like that.
planning
Yeah.
for Trump to run. So
Yeah, they.
what? I don't know, but I was reading it that they said they was gonna put him in something. So, like a lot of people don't realize that they think that it's every 4 years that they should get out and vote, but no, they should vote every 2 and every 4.
Yeah.
But the every 2 is not broadcasted on the news like the every 4 is. So you just gotta know it and for yourself and know every 2 means a lot. The judges, the teachers, over the townships, just all that. The mayor, the governor. All that stuff really matters,
The local is the most important
It
because
really
that's
is.
that's where your electoral college comes from, is your local
Absolutely.
votes. So if your local votes don't match up, then there you go.
And I was one of them people too. I ain't know nothing about voting
It wasn't
because I
taught.
was told, you don't need to worry about all of that voting stuff. And that don't matter. Whatever, your vote don't count. And like growing up, that's what I was told. That stuff is not true.
Well,
because if I thought my vote didn't count, and this all the people thought their vote didn't count, our president wouldn't be president right now.
It's just not taught in school.
It's
That's the
not.
problem. It's not taught. So therefore, if it's not taught, you don't know the importance of voting. Like, for instance, it's a thin line between your vote counting and vote not counting, because the reason why people are saying they vote didn't count was because nobody voted for the local vote. So therefore, the electoral college took over, which they do take over, and that helped go in. So that's the reason why your vote technically didn't count, because you didn't vote every 2 years. If you would
Right.
have voted every 2 years, your vote does count.
And
for
the
every
people
vote.
that's
So,
saying it is the people that don't even vote.
yeah, yeah.
Because this is, I'm not voting. It don't count anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I voted. I
was.
voted still. But what really got me was the one with Trump when he won. That's what took me. We know we weren't supposed to be talking politics, but that's
Hey, we here at the table.
yeah. So that's really what got me. Is like, this crap don't even work. But you just got to be taught. Like, and it's not our fault. It's more of the school system. But then again, it's not even school system. This is the black community. Period. Like, this is like how we don't teach each other about credit. You know what I mean?
Or
We don't. Yeah, exactly. Nobody teaches their kid about credit, debt. They just teach them about tennis shoes, games, playing ball. You know what I mean? But we don't
Being a man.
be a man, being a woman,
Do
whatever.
your hair,
but you don't
do your hair, get long nails.
do your
if you
nails,
want.
getting fresh. You know, that's what we're taught about that. But we're not talk about economics. Economics is what helps the country thrive. But if we don't teach our people that, then how are we gonna thrive? We're not thriving because of lack of knowledge, which has been told from the beginning. People perish because of the lack of knowledge, is what's been wrote, and it's true. We don't teach our kids none of that. We give them a device and say, there you go. Teach them ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, and there you go. But we don't teach them the basic economics.
Nope.
Guns and butter is what they say, right?
Yeah,
Got guns and you got butter.
that's true.
You're the seller or you're the buyer.
Like the tablets would be just fine with the education, but every now and then, not every now and then, but once a day, a book. Have that tablet that your kid has, have a book reading to them.
I don't think nobody read books no more. I think books are obsolete, except for me and I'm sure you all.
Even if it's audio,
You know,
give it to your kids so the audio can read to them.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
And I think that's an excellent thing.
Yeah.
If they're going to do all these electronics, give them something on there that is going to read and put knowledge into them, because the worst thing in the world is to have your children caught up with nothing but playing games.
Yeah.
And you're giving your kids at 4 and 5 year olds, 7, you're giving them cell phones.
Yep.
Definitely. Why
And two, to play on.
Well,
it.
too, yeah,
The,
right.
the
Younger than
phone
that.
don't
and
work.
they know how to.
They do.
Yeah.
That's scary.
And you can have your phone out, and you can just have your phone out, and it's something like, this is like no joke. This is a true story. You can have your phone out, and it's like, this is them standing next to you, and they gotta touch.
They're ready.
They're fiending.
Uh-huh.
No, yes, serious.
Yeah.
It's
They
like
ready,
your
yeah.
phone is here, and this is them. So you just watch them to see what they gonna do, and they
Twitching
just
and
like,
everything.
well, don't touch my phone. They just got to do it, They have to. It's like they are a 2-year-old got this and got the text and thumb already.
Yeah.
They know how to work it. But then you say, "Come on, let's say your alphabet." I don't wanna. It's just our elemental P, Q, Q, K, elemental P. And like seriously, if they wise enough to know how to go to the button, find the YouTube and can't read.
Yep.
Go to what they want,
Yep.
but they don't know.
Yeah, they smart. Kids
They
very-
are extremely
Electronically
yeah,
smart.
Their intelligence.
They are extremely smart, and it scares me because number one, they're absolutely lazy. You know, with all of this snow we had, I even wanted to see somebody walking down the street
With a shovel.
with a
shovel,
shovel,
yeah.
to shovel snow to make some money.
What?
There was nobody.
Now I did see some kids outside playing it though, so I can't.
We were
lie.
playing
Oh,
it.
we're playing
yeah,
it.
yeah.
But not working.
But
Now
not
I
working.
told Bishop, I said,
I was about to say
remember-
that because you used to kids being inside and stuff now, so that's why I was like, I did see
Well,
that.
I saw
Yeah.
4 kids one time.
Down the street.
Yep,
Oh,
yeah.
Yesterday.
They always,
They always outside.
Oh, they are.
They play
They're-
Cowboys and Indians. And
So at least they
they're
outside
out in
doing
the
something.
cold, and I admire their family
Yeah.
for letting them do that because that keeps them creative. They're not. They
Yeah.
probably never.
They in a
now.
They probably
haystack
really
though.
want
no
They in a
video.
haystack. It ain't no. It's not a lot. I saw 4 kids, and our whole neighborhood is kids. I saw 4 kids on yesterday, and that is it. And my own little godson, he had to shovel. He came back in so fast. I said, "Well, what's going on? Did you? Is it too thick or what's going on?" Now this was gonna blow you away because I thought he said, I thought he said that
Where's he at?
I think he in the back.
Where's Jasmine?
So I thought he said what'd he say?
Uh-oh. Mine went.
I thought he said
Lame.
that that's a shame.
He didn't want to do it. Didn't you say? You said it was.
So you
had to
just
use
took
the
my whole
bathroom?
sense
Yeah,
of-
it took mine too.
Okay. I don't want to. Okay, so I asked him what was going on. He was like, I made a clear path. I said, what's the clear path? So I stood on the porch. The clear path was from the door to the trash can. He said, I made a clear path. That way I can go out the door. I can go straight to the trash can or the mailbox. And so that's what he made. So I said, okay. So what happened was he came in. I said, no, what are you doing? Are you finished? He said the sun was messing with my sight. That's what I thought I heard him say. But what he said was, I found out on, now this was on a one day. On the next day, I was saying, he was like, I didn't say that. He said it was messing with my psych,
What's psych?
his
How'd you
psychological.
go? His psyche.
So I said, yeah, my psych. I said, so explain to me what you mean. I said, explain to me what you mean. He said, well, I couldn't. He said, well, I had the shovel with my hand. He said, and I looked to the left, it was a lot of snow. I looked to the right, it was a lot of snow. Looked in front of me, it was a lot of snow. He said, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this mentally. And so he said he put the shovel down and went back in the house.
Oh.
So that
wow.
was even worse than sight.
Yeah.
He gave up
Well,
with the thought of it was too.
You are a good godmother.
This was the
because-
next day that I found out it was psych.
I would have taken him out there the next day and let his psych get psyched out real good.
Oh, my
Because I would have taken him back to the snow and said, well, let's complete this task right here with you picking up that shovel, learning that you and that shovel are good friends. And if you're not, you're going to be.
Become one with the shovel.
Become one.
He said messing with my psych. Like mentally,
Wow.
this is too much already. I'm not even going to. Then my brother came and filled in the path. So he was like, who did this? Because he took the snow he shoveled and filled the
Because he didn't do nothing.
he was mad.
Uh,
My brother was mad that he did that, so he filled in his path.
wow.
So kids is just lazy.
No, it's what it. Well, yeah, they not. They late.
And then they say, well,
lazy, yeah.
it's, it's the parents' fault. But it just seemed like it's easier than to keep yelling. I don't know.
But I mean,
It's just like
I don't know.
I don't know either. I me personally, I play sports, so that's all I can say. Like
when I was growing up, I told Bishop, I was like, sir, I remember when I was growing up, the boys would leave early in the morning, excited about making money, and come back in the evening with
I was
pockets
one of
full
them.
of money.
I don't say it was full, but I was one of
It was
them.
more
Yeah,
than
some
$1 for
cha-ching,
penny
cha-ching.
candy.
Look.
I was happy with what I had because it was mine, and I had a paper route. I shoveled snow.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to go to the grocery store for the older people in the neighborhood because they always, broke me off a nice little money change, and I was able to take my clothes to the laundromat, get them washed myself, pay for it. I felt important, to pay for my own clothes, then fold them, wash them, and all of that. So this generation here I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how the floor is going to get swept. I don't know how it's going to get mopped. Probably dishes, even if they use paper plates, they're not going to take them to the trash can because they're so stuck on them video games that I don't know what's going to happen.
And that's our future.
Well, that's your future.
Yours too, sir.
No.
It's our future.
Uh-uh.
The generation
That's
is our
everybody.
No,
future.
I'm a vigilante. I am a vigilante.
Yeah, that's
Just bump them off.
So that's our future.
You
You
gotta
can't
accept
vigilante. We
Just
need
take 'em
some
out.
we need some youngsters to fill in and help us. And
They not wanting to help us.
no, they not. But they are
They
our future.
sit back and they have no problem. Have you ever saw somebody doing something and at least you felt guilty and got up and said, well, let me do something? They don't have that.
Oh no.
They don't
They gonna
mind
say,
you
"Well, you
doing
didn't ask me."
everything. Right. And then, but anyway, that's why I don't have any.
I don't know.
They lazy.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't have no kids.
I tell you, they lazy from toddlers. They lazy.
Well, no, I'm not saying about them being lazy. I agree. I'm just saying it's a mixture of both. I think it's a mixture between the parents letting them do what they want to do too. I think it's a mixture of both. I don't think it's all the kids because even the Bible says train the child in the way it should go. They don't mention it need to worry.
They show them because them bastards still go somewhere else if they want to go.
So like me first is like I think every child's just different. Like I play video game stuff, but I still knew to take care of my business, and I knew if I didn't take care of my business, what the consequences was too. I think the thing is, there's no consequences to a lot of kids if they don't do what they do. Like period. And if there's no consequences, why do I have to do it?
They
You
don't
see what I'm
mind
saying? Why?
saying
There's no.
They don't
And
mind
even
saying,
talking
"I'll
back,
call the
kids talk
police."
back. I could not talk back for 1 second. So even if I said something like what he said, guarantee you the next day what? Excuse me? Boom, it's over. Like I didn't even think twice about what I said. Period.
I sure
Like,
just was like, oh.
it wouldn't even be let go at that instant. You know what I mean? So
just
I think it's
went
just it's a I don't know. It's a mixture. And
It's
it's,
shovel.
and it's making them active. Like I said, I play sports. I think that played a part of me wanting to do something because even though I played games, I did stuff like wrestling and football that kept me active and moving. Because even physics say something that's in motion is gonna stay in motion. But if I'm sitting around doing nothing, my mind may be moving and thinking. But
that's what's moving and thinking.
But my body's not. So you got to train your body. To me, that's me. That's my perspective from me.
No, that is good.
But you gotta stay active. Push them to do something. Go hoop, man. Don't hoop mean you ain't gotta be the best, but go run, take a jog, lift some weights, do something, ride a bike,
They don't want to do
sled,
anything. They don't want to do
ice skate,
anything.
rollerblade. I don't know. Like,
Well,
so-
I say outside. For his outside, he's active. But for his inside, it's not happening. Ain't no activity going on unless it's some
yeah,
pushing. So
yeah.
it's just
I don't know. Everybody different. I don't know.
No, I'm
It's just-
telling
it's
you,
just-
that's
I really don't
lazy.
think everybody is different. I think they
Lazy.
all, if they don't have nothing in common, I think they all, for the most part, of them have that in common. Is to be absolutely lazy, totally, I won't say totally, but really nice, respectfully rebellious, and it's about what I want to do. And if I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it. And I do believe in training a child in the way it should go, because if there is no moral set, and even in the understanding of parents, I just feel that parents are at a point where they're more friends to their children than they are parents. So I don't know, the discipline is not there, because I even hear mothers that have children now, and they don't want to whoop their kids, and they don't want to tell their kids no, and all of that. And so, what signals are you sending? To be honest with you, what signals are you sending? The reality is that what you're putting out there is that you're bringing into, and soon will be, adults that won't won't have any standards at all. They're going to feel like they can say anything, they can do anything. And then the devastating thing is when they get in school, the other children are not going to tolerate what you've allowed them to get away with. So the lesson is going to come, and sometimes, I know it sounds bad, but sometimes when I see a child beat another child or hit another child, I'm kind of like saying, get them.
But you betting on somebody?
Yeah. I'm saying get them because I can't get them. So sometimes the best teacher is another child.
It's the
You got a
peer.
point, yeah.
And
It's the peer. That's
you,
true.
you think that you're able to always bully because your parents don't let nobody touch you.
Yeah.
But when you go out there in the world,
Yeah.
they don't care
Different
who your
story.
parent is.
Yeah.
You're right.
They're gonna knock
story.
your lights out.
You're right.
And I hope I'm around that, especially if I know how you are and I can't really chase and you're right, I'm going to stand back and say, get them.
Peers do teach, no matter, even like if it's 3 or 4 year olds, it's always 1 or 2 or 3 year old child that is just hammering on the other kids. And it takes that one kid, not even the one that they're hammering on, but another kid, to hit that kid that has been hammering back, and the other kids see it. Then they're like, oh, is that what I got to do? So you're not condoning anything, but something has to be done to stop it. And you as the adult can't go and hammer the kid. You have to just talk it out, but the talking it out doesn't always work. So when the other kid hit back, then that's when the other kids, and you don't have a whole brawl, but what you have is everybody stops hitting. Because no one wants to get hit back.
Yep.
So some people will be like, oh, you shouldn't this and you shouldn't that. No, this is a part of teaching. Also, because what happens is your kid is growing up and now they're a bully. If they're 3 and 4, it can be prevented. You can talk, and then they also experience the hit back. They don't want to get hit back, and it all ends. Now everybody is playing together.
I think
So
people
that's
need
true,
to realize
sir.
that there is a need for chastising. There is a strong need for chastising because your child, we've already talked about when they go to school, but as they grow older, they're going to run across things and people that they're going to have to obey.
Right.
The police, they're going to have to obey, or else we're going to
Right.
have a lot of more dead kids in the street.
Yeah.
Because they just want them to rebel. And if there is no constraints put on them from home, there's not going to be no constraints put on them in the world. And they're just going to be belligerent. They're going to be outrageous and crazy, babies everywhere. And I really don't know what the format of parenting is now. I don't. Mama and them, when I was brought up, they whoop your behind. You wish you would pick up a phone, talking about you gonna call the police or something like that. They would say, go ahead and call them. And tell them to bring the undertaker too with them because by the time the police get here, you gonna be dead. And it's just how it was. And as much as I had that type of, I didn't have a lot of whoopings. My father whooped me more than anything, but I don't think I've turned out bad. I grew up with morals. I grew up with integrity. I knew how to clean. I knew how to cook. I even knew how to sew. I knew how to take care of what was mine, and I knew how to respect others for what was theirs. And it wasn't all about me. Even coming up, it wasn't all about me. My grandmother made sure that I knew that it wasn't about me. I see some of you all, people now, it's all about them. So when it's all about you, the ultimate is that you don't care what you do to the other person. You don't care how you mistreat them. You don't care how you act towards them. You don't care what you do to them. But I was raised where I considered other people's feelings because I was always told what you put out is coming back. And it is the truth. It is coming back. They don't teach that now, I don't think, among this generation, One of our young ladies here, she had, I counted something to talk about, a 17-year-old young lady that is a untouched young lady, and she's in the house of prayer, and I just pray. I'm sure, and she works and everything. These are the things that need to be implemented in our this generation, our young people. If we want our kids to come anywhere close to doing anything worthwhile, we've got to start it at home. And the video game is not it. That is not the answer. Matter of fact, I wish they would abolish video games altogether, because as much as some people can play it a little bit, there's people that are so engulfed that it's their life, their world, and their affairs. And you see people, you can imagine what the spine of the back and neck is going to be in the future, because this is all they do. This is all they do. And they bow their heads. They are on devices, and they never look up. They never look up, so they're not going to know that there's a world out there that is just waiting for them to take their spot in it. They're going to be just hooked up, hung up, and caught up in all of these technology things, and it's going to get worse. They're coming out with more stuff. In a minute, because of all this pandemic and stuff, they're going to have, and they probably already do, virtual sex. People are going to be able to do that, because as much as they're saying the numbers are decreasing, the connection and the interaction is still the same. You're not supposed to have contact with people because of. So eventually, they're going to get into an area where it's going to
They
be.
might already, I think they already have virtual sex, and that's pornography. So that, you don't have to wait for whatever the newness come where the woman maybe, I don't know,
Well, they're selling the
silhouettes
dolls.
or whatever, but
they're selling the dolls, right?
well, yeah.
Well, dolls, yeah.
I mean, for real.
Well, I watched the documentary in the different countries. They
have the real life
treat
dolls.
them, yes.
Lifestyle.
Like,
yeah.
it's so
They
interesting.
Like
feel
real, look
real.
like real people.
Yeah, they go, yes.
I saw the
Real
man.
That was
his
really
wife
interesting.
had the men upstairs sitting on the couch. They was dressed in different things. Some even had like police uniforms on and crossed legs and everything. And he had downstairs the young girls, cheerleaders, and dressed up as nurses and all of that. And they were actual dolls. And he was excited because he was on the camera saying, "I got a surprise. Don't tell her."
But the surprise was for his dog.
The surprise was for her. It was another male life-size doll with a bigger penis.
For a live woman or the...
For his wife, a live woman.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah.
We watched a documentary about that. They spend thousands of dollars on them, and they take them to the doctor. Now, not the doctor like we would go to, but the doll doctor. And I mean, it's real life. They ride in a car, the seatbelt is on, and when they send them out,
I guess you don't have to worry about your feelings or your heart getting broken.
that's exactly what one of the men said.
Yeah.
They asked him.
They don't talk back.
Yep. He said, "Well, what is your favorite part
I don't
of
mind
it?"
them talking back. I just
She
don't want to hurt my heart or my feelings.
You ain't got to worry about that either.
No.
You ain't got to worry about
He
that
said
either.
she doesn't talk back. He said he makes sure she's beautiful, she's well taken care of, she eats, and all of that kind of stuff. Now, she don't actually eat, but she sat at the dinner table with him with her plate. And, I mean, he said she's not fake. Hey, that's what he liked. He said that the real woman wasn't working out. They talk back too much. So he had saw that online, and he invested in it, and he loves it.
Wow.
So and they have guests, and he opened up his closet, and there were the other guest women. No men. And then we saw one with a man, and he had male dolls. So you write down on your application what you want.
Right,
And
right.
the people,
I seen that.
yes,
fulfill
the
it.
And
people
then you
bring
give
it to
them
life
if it's a male doll, you give them the size of the penis that you
of
want.
everything.
You know.
Yes, the hair, I was like, are you kidding me?
Blonde and brunette, and I haven't seen any black ones yet.
No, because they was like foreigners and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So I haven't seen.
But they might.
Well, they're
I wouldn't
banned.
doubt
It's
it.
banned.
I wouldn't
here.
doubt it.
That type of dang, I forget what they called them. They have a name, but it's banned here in the States.
For now.
Yes, so it's
What the dolls are.
those type. Like they got blow up ones, but no, those are not blow up. Those are not balloon. They're like silicone.
Silicone, yeah.
Right.
All silicone
Right.
based.
So they're banned here in the United States.
Well, you know they're talking about robots.
Oh, they already
Oh,
been
that's
working on
probably-
that since like Tokyo, Japan. They've been talking about.
Yes.
They've been
in,
having stuff
in
like
Japan.
That. Yeah.
Everybody be riding around with a robot after a while.
If they'll be in
Possibly,
trouble, I'm
yeah.
thinking, with a robot.
Well,
Unless everything is a robot.
I hope that
I hope that's not
that
robotic.
squeeze is not robotic, because somebody gonna be in trouble if that squeeze do not let up, and it keeps locking in. You gonna be speaking in tongues. Yeah, you gonna be speaking in another language.
You'll be screaming.
Screaming.
You'll be screaming out
Absolutely
soprano
screaming.
pitch.
Help me, please. Help me, please. I tell you.
Screaming like Smokey on Friday.
Yeah. Yesterday, I tell you, we had such a beautiful service yesterday. I really been rehashing over the message on yesterday's Sabbath service, and really begin to think about that word, and especially the book that has been circulating on Facebook, How to Make a Negro Christian. That book really took me there.
Me too.
And then yet, it didn't take me there in surprise, because everything that is being done, we have, better yet, they have been so programmed that it's fully here. They've succeeded in making a Negro Christian, because they have succeeded in keeping Negroes in slavery.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people saying I'm not a slave, but then look at so many things that have gotten us so locked in. You know, I don't know. What do y'all think about that?
When it took me, well, when I read it, I was like, wow. And the wow came from not the title, but that's why I see a lot of people saying that's why they don't believe in God, or they don't believe in Jesus, or they don't go to church, and not one man who's a preacher can tell them or preach to them this word. It's because they have it all mixed up, and not even understanding that their mix-up is the slavery. Because how to make a Negro a Christian is exactly what you said, and you made it so plain. Why would they even think that they have to make somebody a Christian if they already was created to be, already is a creation of Yahweh? But you said it. You have to make something because you're trying to change it or put it in the way you want it to be, and that's exactly what they did. In its history, they used the strongest person on the in the slave quarters, which was a man. The strongest black man is the one who carried the Bible, the only one that could be the preacher. And what he preached is obey your master.
Well,
What
he
he preached is
what the white man gave him permission.
However,
and
it
told
was-
him, told him to.
right, because in the Bible it tells you that you need to obey the law of the lands and your
master.
earthly
Your
masters.
master,
But
right.
what they did is to make a Negro a Christian, they made the black man say it, obey your master. That's the white man up on the hill. Do as I tell you to do, and you shall receive the gift of eternal life. They pointed that towards the master. You know, so now black people mainly is like, I'm not following that. That's the white man's book. That's this, that's that. No, what the white man did was use the book that was given for inspiration and reproof and correction to control you.
Exactly.
So I do know that part, and I also believe that the Bible was written by men. However, it was written by men that was inspired. It was written by a man, and it was inspired by men that experienced the miracles and the joys in the walk of the Messiah and the prophets and things like that. So I just tell Yahweh, thank you, because I could too be mixed up in my mind and saying that book was written by men. It is written by men, but you have to also keep going. It was written by men, and it was written of men that was inspired. You know, so of course it was written by men. Paul didn't write the book.
Yep.
Messiah didn't write the book. Yahshua didn't write the book. Yahweh didn't write the book. Like, we know that, but don't get it twisted. The slaves did what they had to do.
We're told to do.
Because if I was a slave, sir, and Elder Scott, I wouldn't raise, when my son was born into the slavery, I wouldn't have raised him saying, I too would have raised him and said, look, boy, don't try to run. Don't try to run. I would have said that. I would have had the mind of a slave mother. Don't go over there stealing that stuff. Don't try to read. You know, you wait till I say it's time to read. I would have raised him in the same way. Why? Because I wouldn't want to see my son hanging from a tree. I wouldn't want to see his limbs being cut off. None of that stuff. So them mothers and them fathers did exactly what they were supposed to do. And then you had some rebellious slaves that was like, I know mama said it, but I'm running. It got to be better than this.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm going to definitely find that book. I've been looking, and I ain't see it on YouTube. I ain't saw it on the Kindle or none of that, but it's somewhere because I want to see what's in the inside of it.
Yeah. It is a reprogramming or a programming of black people to get them converted as they have already. You know, the book is. I would like to get it and read it too for history's sake. The truth of the matter is that the process of the contents of the book has already taken place because the black nation has been so predominantly reprogrammed that then their only way of escaping is to attack things that would lead them out of it and give them the standard and the stand in their lives, in their world, in their affair. So the ultimate is that even in the midst of them saying that they don't want to go to church and they don't want to follow any man, I think that just becomes a savage mentality because you have been programmed, and out of nowhere you woke up and saw all what you were doing was a program. So you go into a savage mentality to where you no longer want anybody to lead you, and you do need to be led, because if not, you are as a nomad. You're just drifters. You're just out there to and fro. So you're not really being led anywhere. You're not really going to accomplish anything, because the word told us to be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. So the reason why we're not getting anywhere like we should get there is because we're not applying wisdom. You know, we're applying our bodies. We're using them greatly. We're applying our attitudes, our opinions, and all of that, but we're not unifying to get out of a place into the place that was promised for us. You know, and it's just like Canaan. The Canaan land, Israel in the wilderness wandered 40 years in the wilderness. However, the truth of the matter is that they were right at Canaan, but they were so stuck on themselves that they did not even realize if they had a look to the left of them or to the right, Canaan was right there.
Yeah.
But they were so blind and scattered.
Yeah.
And this is what's going on now. Everybody's so blind and scattered that they rather fight against their freedom because they have so much accepted and have made themselves so programmed into, or they have become that Christian that book was trying to make. And now, you know, it's a battle to get them to see we were programmed to do this. You know, when they hear me talk about the Sabbath in my message, and very strongly, because I am very strong in it and I believe it with everything in me. Nobody brought me to it. I did not go in a nomadic way, far as just I'm not going to church. Nobody's gonna tell me when I found out what I was doing versus what I am doing. But the integrity of me made me want to learn what it was and is that I'm supposed to do. Now I see very clearly that this that I have been doing was not the plan of the Father. So instead of me saying I'm not going to do any of it, I said okay then, not wanting to, not even thinking about it. He led me right into what his plan was. Then I had to go through the struggle of making the change, but it was so much real in me that I was willing to make the change, and I just didn't want to go out there and freelance it, because freelancing it is not a good thing. You know, it's not a good thing. So I don't know. When I looked at that book, you know, and I see so many people, the battle is really rough, and it's because he never gave us Sunday. I mean, let's be honest. He never gave us Sunday. Sunday was and is never the seventh day of the week. And it never will be. It is the first day of the week.
Period.
And to show how we've been mesmerized and bamboozled, they gave us heroes on Sunday morning. And that was one of the excuses for Sunday morning worship, Sunday worship. Well, he really didn't rise on Sunday morning. He rose at the ending of the Sabbath. Mary and Martha got there, as you all very well know. They got there to the sepulchre early Sunday morning. But the argument is, I think a lot of people, I know a lot of people know the truth of this, but it's like, instead of me knowing the truth to the point of me making change, I'll just remain who I am, and okay, then every day is the Sabbath. So here we are again, back in a compromise situation, and that falls right in the category of the title of the book, How to Make a Negro a Christian. Make him compromise. Make him compromise. You know, because if you all get the truth of the Sabbath, then you're going to get the truth of the feast days. Then you're going to come away from Christmas.
Hopefully.
Then
I can't even say that.
Yeah,
because
hopefully.
it's denominations that keep the
Do-
Sabbath
yeah,
but still
they
do the
do.
holidays.
They
So
do.
we
I do agree with
can't
you.
even say
But
that.
some of the holidays they keep, some they don't. You know what I mean? So everybody just pick and choose.
Well, I would hope that they would get it to the point that they would even
Yes.
start investigating the feast days versus the holidays.
Yes.
And I think, this is my personal opinion, it's all holidays in general, because all holidays, for the most part, have some type of negative or evil background to it. Halloween, of course, and then you have Thanksgiving. Even though we use the excuse, let's be honest, we use the excuse of Thanksgiving being a day to give thanks, but really, it was really a day of a massacre to the indigenous people, to the Indians. But we celebrate it. You see how wrong that is? To me, that's totally wrong. We celebrating a day that really was a day of betrayal. But we say, oh, we should give thanks. You know, to me, that's
true.
to me, that's the same exact thing than me celebrating Christmas and saying, well, I'm not celebrating and saying it's because he it's his birthday. I'm just giving gifts because I want to. It's the same thing. To me, it's the exact
the same way
thing.
with the 4th of July.
Exact same
The
thing.
4th
That
of
was the day
July
they hung black people on.
It's never a day
Yeah.
for us to, and what we do is barbecue and hey, and come on over and all of that. It was never our day, and I do agree with you on that, because when you come out of it, he brings you out of it, and that means every holiday. Now the thing is that right now we mean nothing to society. Right. We're just a little pin in a huge
old haystack.
But those are the ones that are seen, because you see those in there.
My point is, when they start hearing people starting to talk, then they're going to come at us, because number one, when people start seeing the truth, they're not going to start buying for Christmas. Then it's going to hit the economical world. Then that's going to hit the political arena.
Yeah.
Then it's going to be a domino effect. Then they're going to do that. They're going to work to put you back into slavery, because above and beyond anything, the biggest financial supporters in the economy is your black and brown people.
Oh yeah, especially.
Sad to say, they buy because they're not thinking about saving. They're not thinking about
Passing on.
anything. I'm not either, really. I may pass on a little bit, but I'm not gonna pass on to make somebody else's life real comfortable.
Well, I used to think the same way. I totally used to think the same way.
Use it now.
But
Use it now.
The reason why I get why they say to pass on now. Like, I think the same way. I'm like, man, I'm not gonna be here forever. Might as well get rid of it all, right? But I get why they say it, because the reason why other races are able to stay so high tier is because they do pass on. Even if those children, whoever they give it to, may abuse it or something like that, they passed on something to where they may not even just to make them stable, but future generations stable.
That's why it's continuous.
Exactly, because they're not passing on wealth in order to pass on wealth to make it easy for them, but they're passing on for future generations to come. Just like we pass on the word, for example. We pass on the word for future generations to prosper off that same word, to grow. It's the same thing with that. So I understand, because you're like, I'm not passing on ungrateful nothing. However, it has to. We should want to build our community up in some way. That hopefully they don't, but because we don't know. People mature, people grow. You know.
Donate it to charity in the community.
I mean, you can do that too. But it's just making reason why black family society in general is the reason why we're not growing the way we should grow is because we're not passing our wealth on. We're blowing it.
I do agree, but I won't say but. However, there are so many of them. When somebody dies, the first thing they do is start arguing.
Yeah.
Where the money? Who's getting the money? Then whoever gets the money, they either went and bought them a car, they gone and spent all the money on hair and nails, and that's as far as that money's going. I do understand what you're saying, and I do agree that we need to strengthen our community, and passing it on does strengthen it, definitely. But we also, in the process of, before we have to pass it on, or it has to be passed on, we need to energize our people and train them so they can take what you leave and do something with it.
And that's why I was going to say that goes hand in hand. That's exactly what I was going to mention. That goes back into training our people about economics. It goes all in the same. It's like all in the same ballpark. Because example, like you just said, you don't want to give somebody something they're just gonna blow on hair and nails. But if you teach them about the basic economics on how to handle what you got and what you get, the importance of investing, credit, buying a house, renting a house, leasing, renting to own, like all them different things, like that can make a difference. Because just giving somebody something that's ignorant, of course they're gonna abuse it. They're gonna abuse it. They're gonna blow it. If you're ignorant to the fact of how to make your own to grow or to manage something, you're going to blow it. You're going to misuse it. You're going to do that because you're ignorant to the fact of how important it is of what you got, instead of building upon that, or even taking the risk to build something, invest in something of your own.
Usually when black people pass, they leave their people debt. And when black people pass, they have to do all kind of stuff to even bury the person that's passed. Because the people do not even think that they need, and I'm going to tell you, this is the truth. This is the truth. It took me to say yes to the Father to become wise in the knowledge that I had. I had knowledge because they told me a lot of stuff. Well, one particular man. And things like that. However, I just had it. Right. But when I came into the ministry, and Bishop would talk as a mother, a father, a wise man that we call grandfathers, but just as a wise man, teach through the word, teach from the word, the meanings of the word, the meaning behind the word, opening up more to me. I'm like, oh, that's what they said that for. That's why they said this. So the people taught me, but they only taught me what they knew, and that was just A.
Right.
But they didn't go into what it meant. Maybe they didn't know, or what I should do with it. Maybe they haven't ever experienced
Maybe I got
it.
for hearsay.
You know, so now I'm learning things. You know, how to use knowledge and how to obtain wisdom by asking and not thinking that you know. And when you learn something, don't talk about it as you found it yourself. But in school, what they say, reference your site, your source, and things like that. So the whole thing about it is, I thought that it was ignorant to get life insurance.
I see. Yeah.
Because you don't talk about death, because it's a jinx. That's what I was taught. When you talk about death, you jinxing yourself. No, that's not true. You should talk about death. It's inevitable that it's going to happen. When you don't talk about it, of course it's going to, no matter if you know about it or what, it's going to sting you like no sting ever in life. However, when you talk about it, then you can take care of your business.
Right.
So when your mommy passed away, you don't have to figure out how you're going to bury her.
Exactly.
Because you have insurance. If you pass away, you don't leave the burden of how you gonna get
On
it.
somebody else.
Yes, because what I experienced is, as soon as somebody pass away, you have to go the very next day to take care of their business. So when you go to take care of their business, it's easy until the funeral director start asking you how much money you have.
Yep.
And then you don't have anything. So now you can't even mourn, because now you got to worry about how you gonna bury mama. And then your people who was just fussing with you,
They ain't trying
is
to
gonna
help.
sit around now and they quiet, mute. Everybody mute. Nobody's talking. So now go, you know, mama told you. You know, so get life insurance. Get life insurance. That's an investment. Yes, it may be investing, you think, in your death, because you're not leaving the burden of the people that's gonna have to take care of you. You know, so we as a people sometimes can be ignorant. And you know, it's just
Now, to the defense of the older blacks, that they had insurance policies, some of them.
If they didn't get screwed over.
But
Yeah,
then
that's
it just took, they did not read the fine print.
Yeah.
And when it was time to cash in, the policy wasn't worth what they saw. And then it is a thing that when you've had a policy so long and that policy is paid off, believe it or not, it depreciates. So they don't know that.
Yep.
And when they die and you got that policy, then you go to cash it in, they saying with pleasure, this is what it's worth. You know. So, you know, I think we put a lot of money in the ground that we really should not have to or shouldn't do. But, you know, who can tell somebody how to put somebody away? But tens of thousands of dollars to put somebody in a hole to throw dirt over them. You know, the Muslims do it the right way. They don't do nothing but wrap you in a sheet. They don't even embalm you. They turn your body to the east for the service, and then they drop you in the hole. No casket or nothing. Just naked in that sheet, because they said we cannot prevent the body from doing what it was designed to do.
That's
and
right.
that was to decay and go back to the earth.
that's
So,
right.
you
Because it's
know,
gonna do it in a
they
casket.
do not put no money in it. Yes, it is.
It's gonna
Yeah.
do it
All
in
that money you
It's gonna
put in
decay
that
regardless.
casket is going to go back to, you may have long
Regardless.
hair. I don't know. I think your
That's
hair,
all that's in your
hair
teeth
continue
and
to
your
grow,
skull.
and
That's
your
it.
teeth and your skull.
Yep.
That's about it. But,
That's true.
You know. Anyway, we you know, I just in that message yesterday, I really wanted, you know, I felt the need for us to really open up our understanding a little bit more, and even on the economical scales, we need a lot of work done on that. But I think spiritually, that is our first start. Myself, because there's a lot of people that are on that's on the wrong day and doing the wrong ways, and they have money. You know, so I just think that sometimes people need to really stop and see what they're doing as a race of people and how they're doing one another. And one thing that we definitely need to stop doing is to come against one another. And the challenge is not out there, because we are becoming the crawdads in the bucket. And that is when one starts getting to the top, the one at the bottom reaches up and pull that one down, and it becomes a cycle that never ends. So you study pulling somebody down that's climbing up and pulling somebody down. And this is what we do now. You know, the greatest gossipers is in that church that y'all talk about. They are so holier than thou and so self-righteous. So, in my personal opinion, I just think that as much as we do need all of the economical foundational stands, we really need to establish ourselves as who we were designed to be. And we were never given first day for worship. We were never taken out of the when those commandments were given, they were given to the black race of people. I'm sorry to say that Israel is a black nation, you know, the biblical nation, you know, and all are definitely able to be grafted in, but to be grafted in doesn't mean that you come in changing anything. You come in as being grafted in as to what it is. So you don't come into the Sabbath trying to change it. And that's what they did. They changed it from its original Sabbath to Sunday worship. And we've been off course ever since. And it is so hard to get us back on course because pastors even know that Saturday is the Sabbath. But either they say, I've been this way all my life so long that ain't no need of me changing now.
Yeah.
But, you know, anyway.
It was yesterday's word was eye-opening to a lot of different subjects and to people that may not have never even heard about it, that may tune in. It was powerful. The anointing was on it, and you went from scripture to scripture. So you was the messenger, as you are. However, you just, as you do, you went from, and you slow walked it to the point, read this. No one read, you didn't read it.
No.
You had other people read it.
Yeah.
So they read it, and you broke it down. They read it, you broke it down. And it was just so good. And I encourage anybody that may be just listening right now to go to Greater New Jerusalem page on February 19th and look at the 12 o'clock service, because and it's something that we need to keep looking at. You know, it was something yesterday. It really, really was.
I have enjoyed myself with you all, and I tell you, it is a blessing, amen, to be with you, Elder Scott, and you, Elder Candace Mears, amen. And I enjoy coming together. We talk about so many things, and we're only here to really enlighten you and with a divine word that will not only enlighten you by way of knowledge of what's going on in our political arena, but to enlighten you in your consciousness of what's going on in our spiritual arena. Because once we get our spiritual arena set, then we will be able to decree a thing and it'll come to pass. We're so grateful to be with you, and even you. And remember again, please hit that subscribe button, and there we want you to ring the bell. Give us your comments, and if you have any subjects or topics you would like for us to really talk about, put them in the comments. Remember now, we're not guaranteed that we're going to talk about those, but we will take them into consideration. So we love all of you, and we thank all of you, and we bless all of you. And remember, at all times, you are somebody. We're praying for you and all that you're going through, and we're keeping one another lifted. But most of all, we want to unite in the oneness of His Word. We love you. Be blessed. Be safe out there. Remember, social distance. Wear your mask. And remember, keep your eyes looking up, for He is able to do anything but fail. We love you, and be blessed from the table of divine enlightenment.
Yes, sir.